Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer, here in the flesh, living and breathing. Whether I am here or local, well, I don't even know if it's a mystery anymore. But we've made it to the end of this season, which was, of course, a most exceptional montage, given the nature of mutable signs and mutability. We went cardinal with Aries and Cancer. We went fixed with Taurus and Leo, and we initialized an integrated change with Gemini and Virgo. All right, Virgo, I hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek of what Leo went through the past couple of years, which has incarcerated most notable Leos and killed a few others. Thankfully, there are so much more Leos who have survived and thrived, and through these challenges, which was engineered by design, you've grown stronger. The impotent, okay, I try to say a vocabulary rich word, the nature of Saturn in Aquarius, all right, the population control once in a 30-year mechanic, challenged how much you take your hero-ness, because we know you're a hero, that stirs up all sorts of drama, which shout out to Leo Nation. Like, y'all just need to breathe, and drama literally just erupts around you. What main character energy that you have. Oh my God. Virgo, I think you've been seeing that it doesn't matter if you're essential, they're coming for you. How dare you, Virgo? How fucking dare you just spit facts and just be flawless, and not allow delusional people the opportunity to believe in bullshit? How dare you just produce flawless criticism that hurts our thoughts that aren't even true? Like, you don't even let us languish in mediocrity and falseness. Well, ha! Look at you. Under fire. Under attack. It could never be. Look at you. I already tried to cancel Sneeko ASAP as soon as March hit. Okay, so we about to see, Virgo, you just getting started for you. All right, and considering the dry shade you were sending Geminis, you up. We gonna see how you do. All right, my bad. I didn't even need to say this. Well, anyway, we are done with this Virgo season. And this Virgo season has brought plenty game changers. We started this season off with the moon in Sagittarius, which I will keep on saying is like Goku. Watch it, whether you've seen Dragon Ball or not. You could type in Goku fires the Kamehameha or the M. Night Shyamalama Lama Lama wave. Okay, that was the original name, even though M. Night Shyamalan, whatever. And so he saw Master Roshi do the technique, and he saw it, instantly did it. Of course, the first time he did it, just wasn't that. It wasn't the signature. It was his first time. Well, now we are back. We started a transit off with Moon and Sag. Now we're back. Now Goku is doing that technique again, and it's at its full power because of the montage, because of the practice. All right. So we had the Moon and Sag. That was the first game changer. The ascension of your awareness of the analysis behind behavioral patterns. You're getting ready to, of course, integrate, or rather harvest, integrate and harvest. Then we had the moon in Pisces full moon, which was the next divine game changer that changed the beliefs around how you live your life, because by this point you have completed a crucial element of synchronization that spanned beyond just the past 6 months relative to the Jupiter Sun evolution. Then we had the moon in Gemini game changer, which truly now changed the thought process around, you guessed it, how it is you implement these behavioral patterns. And then we had the new moon in mother freaking Virgo, which now officially activated these new behavioral patterns. Significant because now this is the point of the montage where you have, of course, completed the mastery of these techniques. If we now take this back to 30 years ago, when Saturn was last in Pisces, where we had, of course, reruns of cartoons before 95, 96 came along and they started airing Rugrats. So this is very important because this is putting you in that 2-year cycle that's allowing some of you to become the pioneers and renaissance leaders. I don't know if you know there's a renaissance that is brewing. We are, of course, back in this cycle of reruns like we were 30 years ago until original content and this new world order breaks through, which is going to already start happening now. And now the moon is back at Sagittarius. That's 5 game changers. I call these game changers because the moon and the sun in a mutable sign force change of our perspective, which now leads to a change of the game. Okay? The cardinal signs play the game. The mutable signs is the game. It's the perception. And the fixed sign is what you got. And that's what Leo has been definitely preparing you for, to resurface your swagger. We don't even say swag anymore. Swagger. Okay? No one on the corner got swagger like us. Whether you got a cigar or something, Venus is direct. I know. And this is putting you in a position to move forward boldly and courageously. No, your shit still does stink, but you still move forward a little bit like it doesn't, but still conscientious that it does. And so, you fulfill the Virgo hygiene requirements. All right, let's make sure we're wiping our beeholes. Now, what's also I can't believe I said that. I'm not surprised though. Now, what's also really amazing is with this activation of behavioral change, now that the moon is back in Sagittarius, you're revisiting this ascended perspective of how you are initializing and activating these new behavioral patterns. All that motherfucking jargon that I've spoken over the past 6 minutes is just to let you know that at this stage, now as we are revisiting this ascension at the end of Virgo season, post new moon, you are finally, during this transit, coming into the full vision and understanding of how your behavior has changed, how you have integrated these new techniques. I've already started to see it since yesterday, the synchronization of how much more aligned that you can create at will these synchronicities, not because you're forcefully trying to, but as an expression of your own behavior. This is going to show you the techniques applied and associated with this level of consciousness you have fully integrated since Aries season, the activation saga, season 1. We are on the crux of completing season 2, ladies and gentlemen, which relative to this year of 2023, the plot twist happens. Season 3 is the aftermath of this plot twist, the breakthrough. And so now, relative to this final integration series with which we're going to do it again next year, Saturn in Pisces, Jupiter in Gemini, which will now fully change, game changer perception. This has enabled us to game change our perception relative to the evolution of our 5 physical senses, and with Uranus, the supernatural awakening of clairsenses attached to this conjunction cycle, which is bringing the awareness of how you can see the effects of how much you have grown stronger, which next year will now apply towards the magic you create as you enhance and evolve your conscious mind, and how you add thoughts to what you are mastering relative to your body's physical strength, which is now officially leveled up, really. We're going to complete this level up in Scorpio season, which is why Libra season needs to activate and now instill the expression of our patterns through our relationships with other people. So now we can transform our psychology in about a month and a half. A lot of jargon, I know, but get this. This is very pivotal because now that we are at the end stage of this, relative to the new moon in Virgo, moon in Libra, and the moon in Scorpio, 1, 2, 3 activation, once the moon goes into Capricorn, the sun's in Libra. So we will officially, coming in the moon in Aquarius, begin the first quarter square and that opening trine, which is going to help us really come into an extraordinary knowledge of who our alter ego is, our social self is, our super self, and how we actually express everything we've integrated towards others. This is where you're now actively using your powers so that you can define your character on, are you chaotic, evil, lawful, good, chaotic, neutral, all that jazz. Okay, whether you could think you're good, but your actions make you lawful evil. We're gonna see all this shit. So with that being said, it's gonna be crazy. With that being said, as Mars gets closer to the South Node, the moon in Sagittarius is always lit because it shows you the secrets of the moon in Scorpio. And because we're still coming out of the activation cycle where the moon has not yet reached that fourth quarter square, you are still going to be activating this ascended understanding of seeing now outside and beyond of this physical reality the evidence of how you are fully mastering your abilities. I experienced this yesterday where now the way with which I manifest these synchronicities is so much more conscientious at will. It's not perfectly controlled. We're not a Capricorn season. That's going to be post-Sag, but like, you made it. You really want to look at the past 6 months because we are officially done with part 1. We had a whole time skip. Now we're going to come into part 2 from Libra to Pisces season before we do it again. Part 2 of 2023 is fucking nuts. It's bonkers, y'all. It's preparing you for war. And, you know, a lot of these things that many of us have said are based on invisible mechanics. It's not that they're invisible. It's that we can't perceive more than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum. So a part of what I do with my career is face this unnecessary criticism from astrological illiterate beings who don't even know their moon sign. They don't even know their next Saturn return. And it's very interesting because they influence infrastructure to where I cannot teach astrology to little children because they don't think that it's real. But those idiots do not know their moon sign. I know you don't want me to call them idiots, but what else do I call them? These are grown adults who don't know the next date of their Saturn return, and they don't really think that it's important to know because they're illiterate. So this opens people like us up to all sorts of criticism where we have just been putting in the work. I work in a field that has a lot of frauds. You have people who prey on women using these natal chart readings so that they can sexually take advantage of them, which is more important. Why we need more men in this field as pillars to protect the unsuspecting women who are just out here getting taken advantage of. And then you also have this whole notion of people who just think that I be making up shit and bullshit and stuff. Then now I had to make predictions and be like, okay, if you think I'm making this stuff up, how come I predicted this death? How come I predicted this terrorist attack? How come I predicted this riot? And now, you know, I'm showing and proving. This is the Virgo season where now the effects of this work you've done are now fully changing your perception, whether a lot of it reluctantly, whether people want to believe it or not. But most importantly, the nature of this behavioral pattern and the supernatural techniques and abilities that come through, you will be seeing at a final level. As we wrap up this full integration, we get ready for breakthrough. What's the purpose of breakthrough? Well, you integrated new abilities and techniques. It's time to show the world, because Gemini is talk, Sagittarius is show and tell, Sag and Gem. So this breakthrough arc is going to establish the expression and performance through Libra of these powers, unlocking them through the South Node. Scorpio is going to transform the psychological nature of how post-activation or expression or harvest, because we're stepping into the harvest of these techniques, you now, of course, transform your psychology and the people around you, which brings you to a heightened philosophical awareness through this ascension of Sagittarius that shows you in 3 months the nature of everything you've mastered now in Virgo. This is what you've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. I've been talking about super motherfucking powers all day, and some of you think that I'm really just saying that, which is cool. I understand it. This society is lying to you with fake experts, giving you false ethos and fearing you with pathos, but they won't tell you the truth about your innate potential. You don't need a peace dealer to tell you this, but thank God for a transit like this. This is gonna fucking show you. So like, you're going to see it like you've been seeing it, but now at this crucial point, it's out of this auto nervous sense. If you think of Aries to Virgo, which is your identity, your body, your mind, your emotions, your heart, your behavior, you cannot see these things. They're intangible until we get to Libra. You made it. Congratulations. Moon's going to go into Capricorn, understanding the utilization of your super self and the powers that come with it. And that means the rest of this transit through the 29th degree of Virgo of mastery is going to crystallize post-opposition of Neptune harvesting, the Neptune-Sun conjunction, the benefits and the reaping while the sun trines Pluto, this full awakening of the God level power within you, the collective awakening that's bringing in a mastery of mental force and the techniques and abilities that come through with it. So what techniques are you excited to understand the vision of? That's Moon and Sag, understanding the higher perspective or vision of what our mastered analysis of these behavioral patterns that post new moon we just activated. God speed, ladies and gentlemen, you made it and you deserve what's coming next. Peace.